have for you today a flanger tutorial. Not the slow flanger, but the fast flanger. So I have an introductory video in which I took a picture off of Google Images, and it is going to explain by the use of visual before I actually show you the RC505 version of it. Okay, so why don't you check that out first, and then meet me back here. Okay. If you are looking at the picture, that means that you are seeing two types of flangers. You have the sine, or what I call the slow flanger, and I color coded it, so you should be seeing the purple/pink one on the top. That one is basically your default flanger that you get when you purchase your 505. So if you follow my voice with the red shape of the sound wave, we call it sound wave. It goes up and sound wave. It goes up and down like woo. Okay, but this tutorial is not that. If you look on the bottom, it is what I call the fast flanger, so stepwise. And I underlined STEP, step, because eventually when this part of the video goes back to the 505, I will show you when we get to what's called a step rate. So I'm also glad that the picture that I found off of Google Images, which is the copyright thing, is fine with. It shows pictures of steps. So something that we've all used when we learn to walk and crawl and climb are steps. So do 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 like that instead of nope. Instead, this is a step, not the sign. So fast flanger step do 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 do. And eventually it'll go really fast stepwise. Okay. Hey, welcome back. So now you had an introduction, you had the picture, and now it's time to finally show you everything on here. So first things first, you have to go to this, which I'm going to zoom in. You're always going to have your left and right arrows. So from this point on, I'm not going to keep zooming it out to show you left and right. We're just going to go straight from here, this. Small, big, okay? Here we go. Okay. So I'm going to hit the exit button. And you can do it with the IFX, or input IFX, like to call this IFX. You can do it with B and C here, but then it sounds like that. And I don't want that. So instead of the IFX flangers, we're going to focus on the TFX flangers. So as usual, you got your A, B, and C. So you should probably memorize that a flanger can be on B and it can be on C. If you want to be extra fancy, you can do a separate setting for your B and C and mix them. But for right now, we're going to keep things simple, and I'm going to demonstrate with just letter C. So TFX C, okay? And it should show up TFX C type. Now, sometimes it might be on lo-fi, ring, whatever, blah 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 blah, any of these. You want to keep going. It's the little knob, not to be confused with the big knob. So little knob, keep going, left or right, doesn't matter, until you get to flanger. So you're lucky. On the C, it's the third one over. So we're lucky with that. Okay. So if you listen, this is how the flanger sounds basically as the default. If you listen. All right. So I just demonstrated the C, but for today, I'm gonna switch over to B. I'm gonna show you what we had. It says flanger. Hit the right arrow, and that's where it has things like rate, depth, resonance, step rate, and E level. So flanger, unfortunately, is a little complicated because it has 5. So in order to go from one specification to the next, you just hit the right arrow. That's right arrow, right arrow, right arrow, right arrow, and that's as far as you go. And to go back, opposite of right is left. So left arrow takes you to step rate, left rate, resonance, left, 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 and that just takes you back there. Okay. So rate, which you heard, was about 20. We want to use our right memory value. and we want to all to the right. You want to go past that measures. We're not doing measures. This is a half note. So if you don't know, you have half note, dotted quarter note, all this. Okay, so skip that. So you don't want that. If you're going to the right and you see all that, you don't want that. So go back to the left, and you want a half note right there. Okay, so that means if you have this as your steady beat, 1, 2, bum, bum. So each of those is the quarter note, right? So if you look, if I exit out of that, I go back to my flanger. So you have to keep hitting the C, since that's where you're trying to go to, right? So again, right arrow. So half note is 1, 2, 1, 2, bum, bum. Okay, that's the rate, half note. Okay, so next one, depth. Instead of 60, we'll just do 100. Go over to the right. Resonance, I like to keep mine at 100, so you can kind of tell the pattern. I like to keep things at maximum 100. Keep in mind, most of these buttons on the whole RC505 usually starts with 0. Keep going to the right until you reach maximum 100. 0 to 100. Okay, so we said I got the rate as half note, depth is 100, resonance 100. Now step rate. So with that picture that I explained to you, when you have the sine wave, that the step rate is off, but we're not doing that. So as usual, take your right fingers, memory value, keep going, keep going, keep going, past the measures. Now the step rate, all the way maximum, that is called a 30-second note. So like that. Okay, so let's review. Flanger, and again, that's just it's whether it's B or C, doesn't matter. Flanger. Rate, half note. Depth 100, my opinion. Resonance 100. Step rate is like this. So if you're sounding it correctly, this is just a pre-recorded, like do 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 do, just to demonstrate. Here it is. Okay. With that in mind, I hit the exit. I go back to my flanger, and in this tutorial, we're not going to talk about whether to use it on like which of the 5 tracks. The point is just to show you the knobs. So if you wanted to lower the step rate, do you hear how it changes? It's still a step, but da 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 da. You want right? If you change this, which is the equalization level, it doesn't quite make it as loud. That's why, like I said before, I just prefer the 100. Now, if you do the resonance, it kind of chops it up a little bit, makes it more like a tremolo selector. Depth. I hope you hear a difference. Basically higher pitch. So the depth, think about it, if the number's getting smaller, that means it's not like as much as like this and like this. You hear how it kind of shallows out, mellows out? So you see how far we've come? That was 32. Making our way back to original 100. Maximum 100. Okay. So in Beatness's, in one of Beatness's rounds, he goes just like that. You know, and then he just kind of alternates. Wants to do that or not. Okay. Alright, so just a brief recap. You can do B and C. Flanger's right there. You can do TFX B and C. You can kind of pick which one you want just for simplicity's sake, as I explained before. I'm just using track number 5 like that. Go into this right here, and we're going to zoom back in to look at that. Right arrow, right, make sure it's at a half note. Depth 100, resonance 100, step rate 30-second out. Oops, and the equal level is 100. So the two main things are the step rate, because of that picture that I explained over and over and over again before, your 30-second notes. So rate is half note, step 30-second. Again, rate is half note in this case, and step rate is 30-second note, which is the maximum, the fastest step rate you can go. Okay, so I hope this tutorial helped, and in the comment section I'll type all the stuff out. Please let me know if this helped.